Hello everyone. So I have been watching a lot of winter everyday kind of makeup looks recently. So I thought, you know what, I'm getting ready to go out. Why not film it? It's a little bit fun. So I've already done my skin prep before my makeup and we'll just get straight into it. I did forget to put on my lip balm, so I tend to do that beforehand before I do anything lip-wise after. So now we'll get into it. By the way, if I'm filming this and my eyes are doing like this, it's because I'm looking at me and then I'm looking at like the camera lens, so it's a bit confusing. So if you wonder what my eyes are doing, that is that. But first off, I'm going to do a little bit of concealer just on a little bit of the blemishes before I go on to what I've got as the CC cream. So this is mainly, again, just like the bigger spots. My skin has been doing a lot better recently. I did have a few bad breakouts, but I have changed my my regime with my skincare, and I have found it's kind of helped a lot with regards to breakouts, redness. You just got to be patient with these things, you know, like I just find you can't rush these things. Then go into blend. Where's my mirror? Quickly blending it through very quickly. It doesn't need to be that neat because it's going to end up blending out with all the other stuff, and it's just to kind of get rid of that little bit of redness. One I just used was the Revolution one. It is the Conceal and Define. Not sure if you can see that. This, I always say, I do find it runs out very quickly. Maybe I'm using too much of it, but I do really like it. And then I'm going to be moving on to this. So this is the 17cc cream. It doesn't have a lot of coverage, but I find in the winter I prefer that because, again, it's the air's more harsh. My skin's very sensitive anyway, so I don't tend to like to put anything too heavy on. I don't tend to in the summer either for different reasons, but I find this is quite nice and light. Just literally just do zigzags. Get it all on there. And then using a brush, going into downward motions. And again, I find this just also helps kind of even out the skin tone a little bit more, kind of gets rid of some of the redness. I don't tend to put too much of it around the eyes because that's where I'm going to obviously do my concealer. And just I do upward motions with the forehead and then downward motions with the rest. Bring it down to my neck so it's all even. And you might not really be able to see it on camera too much. Hopefully it's just like a little bit more, again, just kind of evening that skin tone, made it all kind of one look. And now I'm going to move on to the 17 concealer. So this is a new one that I have been trying, which I actually really love. I think it's really good coverage. Sometimes I put on one layer, sometimes I put on two. Again, it just depends how I'm feeling or what I'm going for. So I tend to, again, just put it on those little red patches, get as much coverage as possible where you want that brightness to be. So I'm just like covering the screen. Tend to do here, everywhere, and then I do the eyes. So I kind of go here. If any of you did actually watch my short, then you'll see that I use this one in there, and it kind of looks a little crazy, and I keep looking at the me and I need to look at the screen. So this varies what I do. Sometimes I'll use a beauty blender and sometimes I will go back in with this brush, but I'm actually going to do this for the eyes and this for the face, mainly because I haven't actually dampened my beauty blender and I can't be bothered to get up to do it. Keep on blending. And again, I just find it makes everything so much lighter on the skin. Rather than using a really heavy foundation. My skin's very weird. It goes like it's oily T-zone and then can go quite dry. I did have issues with it being very dry for a while, and that's kind of calmed down with the stuff that I'm using, which again I absolutely love. But it can be a little bit pricey. So once I've done that, I then use this little brush and then I will literally just go in with the corners and just kind of buff out the concealer a little bit and just kind of, again, a little bit over the eye, and hopefully see where it's obviously that little bit brighter. I'm going to put tiniest bit more on there, just that extra little bit of coverage. I'm going to use the bigger brush now and just lightly tap. I think I used to be really bad at being like, I need to be quick with this, and I just like stab my face with the brushes, but I find when you're a little bit light and you just take your time, it ends up working better, and then you actually end up not taking as long because you're not having to constantly go over things. Once we've done that, we're going to go into bronzer, and I've used this, as you can see, for ages. I've had this for months, and you can see I've really got into it. quite a bit, but there's still a lot there, and a little goes a long way. So again, this is Revolution. I love a bit of Revolution, and how I put it on is different all the time, but I'm gonna pop it on my finger, and then I'm gonna do a little line there, right at the top of my cheekbones, another line there on the head, and I'm just using this camera as a mirror for now. Little dots, and then whatever's left, I'll kind of just do a little bit on the nose. And then sometimes what I do, I'll do a little line across here, and then it's all kind of set. I use two different brushes when I get them. I use two different brushes when it comes to contour. So I use this for the CC cream, which I use for the forehead because I find it blends a lot nicer. And I just kind of go upward stroke, so I'm going into, again, the hairline and the scalp. And I just find it just blends so much nicer. Is it there for the nose? Again, my nose contour is just that. Don't really do too much with it. Then I move on to this brush, and this is where I kind of do the shape or the molding, I suppose, if you want to call it that. So this one, because this takes a little longer to blend, but I find then it kind of stays in its place. I think bringing it into the eye, I don't know, it just kind of blend seamlessly. I actually watched a YouTuber do this as well, and I was actually really interested to see her do it and explain it, because I do that, and it's kind of nice when you kind of know tricks that other people are doing is what you do. So yeah, so just kind of blend it in. It can take a while to trust the process. What's that saying that they always say? It's blend, 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 and then eventually it will just come across seamlessly, and you'll just look like a bronzed goddess. Just to add like a little bit of colour, and again, because I am very fair skinned, it is something that just warms up my face a little bit more, and it's not too dark either to then just look weird with pale skin. Any remainder I just kind of do across here, which isn't a lot, to be honest, and then just make sure, again, I'm happy with it and it's all blended. Next, I'm moving on to blush, and I'm going to mix in a bit of liquid blusher with a bit of liquid highlight. So the blush I'm going to use is in Peach Lemonade, which is a 17, which I have used before. I love this one. I do have another one in a slightly lighter shade, which is a soft pink, but I'm going to go into this one today. I want it to look a little bit more, I don't know, flushed, I suppose that's the right saying. Then I'm going to move on to the Studio London liquid highlight. Now, I may have mentioned this before. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this highlight. I feel like it can take off your makeup a little bit, but I find when you kind of blend it together and use it with the brush, it's not too bad. So I'm going to put a little bit of the blush on my hand, a bit of the highlighter, or maybe a little bit more of the highlighter. Gonna have to even that out now. Sting product. There we go. I got that there. I use my brush, dab it in, mix it all in. So again, it's just like a really nice sheen. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. And then I just use my brush and I just dab. So apple of my cheeks all the way up. Little circular dabbing motions. That's what I tend to do, all the way up, around the eye and back down. Any remainder kind of put across here. We're still looking a little flushed, and then just down the nose slightly. Grab a little bit more onto my hands, then pop again back onto my cheek. Get a little bit on the forehead, a bit more there, and just blend it out. And hopefully you can see where I've got the colour, but I've also got that shine there. So it just saves putting a little bit of the powder. Again, I find sometimes with the liquid, personally, it kind of gives that more dewy, skin-like kind of look. I love, where is it? I love my powder highlighter, again, Revolution. But I love this powder highlighter, and as you can see, like, I've still got so much of it left because you don't need so much to use. But I love this. I'll do this if I'm wanting to go for a little bit more of a full face, or if I'm going out for the day for an actual, rather than just doing errands, kind of going out for a reason, or in the evenings if we're going out for food or anything like that. So, but just try not every day, I've kind of done this. I find as well, especially these kind of come across a little bit dewy anyway, and I have that little bit of extra sheen. It just depends what I'm going for, and I've done this for the last couple of days and I do really like it. Now we are moving on to powder. So I've been using this one. I have this one, and I can't remember what it's called. It's the pink one, which is a bit more of a dewy feel to it. And I have got myself this, which I've seen for such a long time, and you get them on Amazon. I'm pretty sure I got two for £3. So like, they're super cheap, and I got it for free delivery as well, so I didn't have to pay anything, which was even better. It's great for the under eyes. I have very creased under eyes. I have crow's feet, lovely signs of aging. And I just find using this, it doesn't make it as creased as it would if I just used a brush. So I'll grab this just to make sure if there has been any creasing that's happened during the rest of my makeup steps, just to kind of get them out. And I will get my powder, I'll dab it in so you can see it. Then I will just get the excess off on the back of my hand, and then I will go underneath the eye and I'll kind of go into the corner and dab my way out, kind of go down the nose slightly, and then above onto the eyelid to make sure there's no creasing there, because I can get a little bit of creasing there. Once I've done the under eyes, again, I'll grab it again. Similar thing, so you just don't want too much of the powder, because again, I don't want it to look cakey. And I'll just dab across the forehead. So this is where I tend to get a little bit shining, across here and just underneath here. And then sometimes I'll just get the excess that was on my hand, just get that little bit more across around the nose. And then that's that bit done. Then I grab my big fluffy brush, and then I just put a little bit there. I gave myself a little bit too much powder on the lid. Just tap the rest off, and then I'll just dab across here. I don't touch this bit where my blush and my bronzer is for two reasons. One, I'm going to go over it with my powder, bronzer and blush, and secondly, again, I want to try and keep that dewiness, and I don't want to get rid of that with the powder. So I just kind of go over the head here, down the nose, down the neck a little bit, and that's it. And then any remainder that I have, I'll just kind of like, don't want to waste it, put it back in there, and that's that. Hopefully you can see it's looking a lot softer, still got that shine with the highlight and the blush. Next, bronzer. So this is Natural Collection. I just wanted to get something, sounds bad, cheap and cheerful, because I just wanted it to kind of, again, set the cream bronzer that I've got, and kind of give, again, a nice soft kind of look, but looking a bit more together for winter. So I grabbed the brush that I used for my blush and my highlighter. Again, I just kind of go in, and then I'll just go over very lightly with the bronzer and just kind of set that into place when my hair decides to stop being a mess. And then I'll do a little bit on the nose again, and just easy as that. I hardly use anything with this. It's just a little bit just to buff it in. Then this has broken, but this is the Collection 2000. Couldn't tell you the colour. I've lost the lid. You need the tiniest bit. And again, this is just to go a little bit, very lightly tap across along the nose. Again, a little bit on the cheeks. And you can still see, still got that nice shine coming across. It just builds that colour that little bit more, which I love. So now the base is all done, we're going to go to the brows. Brows are very simple for me, and I'm quite lucky, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. I've got quite thick brows, so I don't really need to do much. So I just brush them up and across and across. So that's that. And I use the Soap and Glory pencil. So you have got this. I find this isn't very pigmented, so I don't really tend to use that because I just don't see the point, unless I'm wanting to try and brush up the brows a little bit more. I find it helps with that. Otherwise, I just use the actual pencil bit. Just, again, just draw. Everyone's brows are different. Any kind of thing I watch that always do the brows off camera, I find, just because everyone's brows are different. So, and I think brows are so specific for everyone. So what I might do, you might be like, what are you doing? But this is what I do, and I just kind of colour up. Essentially just kind of trying to fill in the gaps a little bit. You know what, I don't even know if you can actually see any difference, but it feels different to me. It feels a bit more put together. It feels like it's kind of filling in the gaps. Okay, so normally I will then just put on a little bit of mascara, but I'm wanting to try a little bit something different, which I haven't done in years, so this could go horribly wrong, but we will see. We're going to be using the Rimmel eyeliner. My sister did this really cute thing for my 30th birthday, where she basically got me 30 presents in one thing, and I had to open one each day up until my 30th birthday. So nice, just little, kind of like stocking pieces you get, just little things like that, and this was one of them. And I haven't actually used it because I don't wear eyeliner, and with my job, it's not really the type of thing where you just get full face of glam. So I'm gonna throw this on. I'm not sure whether to I'm not gonna do this on camera because I do really need to concentrate on it. Hopefully it turns out all right. But before we do that, I'm gonna get a little bit of concealer, and just pop it on my hand. Small little brush here, dab it on. I'm just going to go over my eyes because I want to do, I don't even know what you call it, like a cut crease. I'm going for everyday and I'm kind of gone from like all glam, but it's going to be natural looking. It's not going to be over the top, because I'm not really into that kind of stuff, to be honest. With the remainder of the powder on there, I'm just going to buff that in again so it's all set. Back into my bronzer, get just a little eyeshadow brush, the tiniest little bit, and I'm just going to go around again the crease of my eye. Now again, I have quite big eyelids, if you want to call it that. I don't really know what the best term is. And I'm just going to go across here and just do the tiniest little bit. You know what, now I'm doing this, I don't even want to do that cut creasing, so that whole concealer thing was just completely pointless. But the idea was there, the intention and the effort was there, but I'm literally just going to do a few errands and a little bit of admin, so I don't need to get fully dolled up. So just a little bit, just to colour the eye in. And again, you can see how fair this is, and because it's not like the most expensive, I know the pigment's not too great on it, but it does help lightly, just kind of give a little bit of sculpt in the eye, that little bit more. Voila. Something so simple. Now we're going to attempt this eyeliner. I should have done this first really before my base, because we'll see how this goes. Okay. So that's the best we're going to get with the eyeliner. I'm not too sure what I feel about it, but it's done. So we're going to move on to mascara. So I use the e.l.f. mascara. Again, I love this one, and the Maybelline Sky High one. They're both really good, but this one's a little bit cheaper. So again, in regards to price, if what you're looking for, this one is really good. So that is just one coat. I'd sometimes go in with two if I just want that little bit of extra volume. If you let the first coat dry a little bit, I personally find it gets on a little bit better, but that is just because I do prefer a chunkier lash. So that's it for mascara. Last little bit is just going to be the lips, and I've been really getting into lips again. I usually would just normally put on a bit of lip oil or a bit of lip balm, but I've been kind of getting into doing a bit more of a nudie kind of colour as well. So I have got the Revolution, surprise, surprise. So when you can see it, Revolution, and I don't know what colour this is in. Chauffeur, is it? We're going to go with that, but I just need to wipe off a little bit of this lip balm. Okay, so I overline slightly, but I also want my lips to look quite natural, so I tend to just go over the top and down across. I always find everyone pulls funniest faces. Well, I think I'd pull a funny face, and then just go around the edge, and then I'll colour it in slightly on the lip itself, just a little bit. Because again, I find it just makes it more seamless when you mix this in with the lipstick rather than just doing it like obvious lime. I know some people do it like that with like a really dark lip liner and then a really light nude, and I do think it looks really good. I just don't know if I can pull that off. Just don't know if that's a bit of me. So once I've done the lip liner, I have seen a few people go on about this. It's not the exact one, it's the PS Pro, the one from Primark. I mean, look how cool that is. And the colour is, I don't even know what the colour is, but a little bit of this, and then again, just pop it on my lips. I mean, like how gorgeous that is. And this went, I've still got the bloody label on it, £1 it went down from £3, but even £3. And a few people mentioned it. I thought, you know what, I'll try it, and I absolutely love it. And it feels very soft on the lips, it's not sticky, it's a nice satin finish. I find when I have my lip balm on first and then just take some of it off, it just helps with the softness, especially with the lip liner. I don't know why, but I find with the lip liner, if you've got quite dry lips, it just looks weird when you put it on, but that's just me personally. So there you have it, guys. This is the finished look. Again, I'm not quite sure about the eyeliner. I haven't done it in years, so considering I haven't done it in a very, very long time, I'm quite happy with it. It's not too bad. But again, every day, you just took the eyeliner out. This tends to be, and my everyday, if I'm just going to work, I will just tend to just put a bit of lip oil on instead of lipstick. but again, you've still got the nice little glow. Yeah. And that's everything from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Everything I use is extremely affordable. I got it all from Boots, and I got a couple of things from Superdrug, but super cheap, super cost effective, so you don't need to worry about going all these bougie brands, even though some of them are amazing to have, and I have bought a couple of them in the past. But very easy. Again, this probably would normally take me about 10 to 15 minutes, if that. It's just I've been waffling on with conversation. But I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, I appreciate if you liked and subscribed. I do enjoy doing these type of videos every now and then. I love watching them. I find them very therapeutic just to watch a good makeup tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed this. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week. It's coming up to Christmas. Enjoy the Christmas festivities, and I will see you in the next one.